what this last couple of games with the U.S. national team have been, the time with the group, and just the game you had just against Australia?
Yeah, timing in football is everything, right? I get invited to a camp in September, last minute. Felt like I had a good camp, but now after this camp, you feel like you took advantage of an opportunity. So I'm excited. We'll see, if my name is selected for the November camp, but it feels good to not only contribute in training and camp and being a good presence within camp, but also contributing on the field stat wise, right? I'm a player that probably doesn't necessarily get a lot of stats here with Sounders or national team, so it finally feels good to contribute in that way, and hopefully people are feeling my presence on the team, whether it's on the field or off the field.
It feels like Pochettino has really understood where to play you, how to play you. He's even been as vocal as any coach has ever been. What is the relationship there, and how's that been, that he's been able to get the best out of you?
Yeah, the relationship with Pochettino is incredible, right? From the minute I stepped into camp, I really felt comfortable and confident with him. He gave me that confidence to really step forward and believe that I can make the squad. And as a player, right, you want to feel that confidence. You want to feel like that if your name is called, he's gonna believe that you're gonna get the job done. And so that was my mindset, right, going into camp. When my name was called, to be able to contribute. But yeah, from the first minute, I felt really good about just being in camp overall, and obviously the coach of that magnitude believes in you. You want to deliver for him.
He had some pretty glowing comments about you after the game. What was your conversations like with him after that performance?
Yeah, a lot of just him understanding that moment, him really believing that I was going to get the job done, right? As a coach, I think instilling confidence is a real important thing, especially with guys that maybe are on the fringe. So getting that sense from him was really nice. Obviously, hearing his remarks after the game, very nice as well. He's a person that has seen so many great players throughout his time as a coach and as a player as well. So for him to be saying those things, right, it means the world. But again, I have to deliver if he continues to say those types of things about me.
There is a large part of that group that's a younger group. Do you feel like a veteran leader when you go into that locker room?
Yeah, I mean, look, I've been to a World Cup. I'm now 30. I think Tim and maybe Matt Turner are the only two guys that are older than me. I probably haven't played in as many important games as those two guys, but I've been around those types of games, and so I definitely feel like a presence over there in terms of leadership, being vocal, trying to get the guys on the same page in that moment, whether it's in the locker room or on the field. So understanding my role, maybe I don't see a game, but how can I still impact the group?
You mentioned that you haven't been as many big games as those guys, but I mean the truth is that you've been in way bigger, way more big games than they have in the club level. Mm-hmm. I assume you're talking about the national team level. Are you able to, I don't know, how do you go about sort of translating the experience that you have at the club level that sometimes seems to get maybe not appreciated as much to the wider audience when, I mean, you have a resume that stands up to anybody at the club level?
Yeah, I mean, look, sometimes the club level stuff gets thrown out the window once you're at the international stage, right? That when you're with guys that play in Champions League, maybe we don't take, our big games with as much emphasis as some of the guys that play in Europe. But big games are big games, right? Finals are finals. You know, I've been part of many of those, and so to come out winning a lot of those finals, you know, I've gathered a lot of that experience. And look, I've played a lot of games in North America as well. You know, it's CONCACAF is different. You know, obviously Club World Cup now, and so now I feel like my you know, experience altogether has grown, and now leading as well. You know, not only just playing, but being a leader, being vocal. So I do feel like it translates. I do feel like those things aren't taken for granted, at least from our coaches with the national team. Maybe with other people they do, but I'm thankful that I've had those experiences and I can rely on them when the going gets tough.
How does Brian Schmetzer in his coaching style compare at all, maybe, or contrast with Pochettino?
Yeah, it's look, here at club level you have a whole lot more time to work on things, and so it's very organized in that sense, right? Specific days are for building out of the back. Other days are for pressing. You know, other days are for finishing attacks. You know, with Pochettino, you have to kind of fit everything all into, you know, 1 or 2 days at times, and so that's the tough part of being a manager at the international level. You don't get to see those guys on an everyday basis, so you have to rely on you know, what people say about others, about the players. You also have to rely on what you see, and so trainings are extremely important. And so the emphasis is always, hey, how do you train? If you train well, you might play. And so you know, all together, right? And you know, we see it with a lot of South American coaches, right? Intensity is always so important. How you commit, how you show yourself in training, how you display yourself each and every training session. Those things are vital to seeing the field. And so you know, slightly different, right? I think the being a manager as a at the international level is always tough because you don't get to have all the days with those players.
Cristian, last game of the season, trip to New York City FC. What do you expect out of that game? And, you know, after playing 100+ minutes, you know, how available, how ready are you okay with minutes in this one?
Yeah, I feel good. Look, it's up to Schmetz. You know, that's overall his decision. You know, I had a long camp, so you know, I'm sure he'll take that into consideration. So we'll see. You know, obviously I've played a lot of games this year. But we'll see what this game brings. Long travel day, but I'm excited. I think New York City is a good side. They have a lot to play for right now. So you know, on a small field, we'll see a lot of directness. How can we be good in second balls, pressing, and then also being a little bit more direct at times. So really important for us to, you know, gather momentum going into playoffs. But again, it's going to take our whole squad. We were missing a lot of guys against Salt Lake, and we saw, you know, a tough game, a game that we grinded out, a game that we played really well in minutes. But how can we sustain that through 90? Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it.
Good job, Cristian, man.
Thank you, guys.